Ice Cube is a motherfucking lyricist.
I can't stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting wise.
Really?
He's the same.
How much time we got left here? Because should I just tell him to leave now?
Let me tell you. Who's this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said nothing.
Is he a comedian? Yeah. Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if he a comedian.
Nah, this hot right.
When you decide to come for Ice Cube, yeah, the same man who wrote No Vaseline, one of the most ruthless diss records hip-hop has ever seen, you better step up prepared. Listen to this. That's not somebody you casually throw shots at and expect to walk away untouched. But Aries Spears, he showed up with punchlines that barely registered and disses that didn't hit the way he probably imagined. And girl, the internet didn't miss a second of it. Everybody watched it unfold in real time. It felt like a slow-motion crash, and once social media grabbed it, there was no saving it.
Daddy, put hands on you, give you real black eyes. Come on, don't do that. And that's the truth. I mean, you could trust me. I've had about enough.
It all kicked off on Big Boy's Neighborhood, a platform known for bringing in hip-hop legends and having authentic, unfiltered conversations. They were simply ranking rappers, vibing with that classic barbershop energy. When Aries did what Aries does, he swerved off script. Ice Cube's name got mentioned, and instead of keeping it diplomatic, he went off. Hold up, he didn't just critique him, he straight up said Cube was trash as a rapper and an actor.
You don't think that...
One of the songs I hate the most, if it comes on, I want to shoot the radio. Today was a good day.
Yeah. The same Ice Cube who helped architect the entire West Coast wave got talked about like he was some rookie by a comedian who hasn't had a breakout comedy moment in over 10 years. Let that sink in. Big Boy and the crew tried to smooth it over, laugh through it, keep the mood playful, but Aries wouldn't let it breathe. He doubled down. He even took shots at Cube's classic Today Was a Good Day, one of the most respected West Coast records ever, like it was disposable. And that's when it got awkward. Then he rolled into an impersonation, a strange, uncomfortable bit where he joked about Cube being a gynecologist.
Chuck did a great joke. He goes, here's Ice Cube as a gynecologist. Hey, Miss Jenkins, I looked at your chart. Now get up on that thigh.
That's racist. I don't know how it's racist, but what you just did is racist.
Nobody laughed. The room just froze. You could literally feel the tension through the screen. But Aries, he didn't pull back. He leaned in even harder, like that one guy at the party who keeps explaining a joke that already bombed. And right there, that was the moment he crossed the line. Look, jokes are jokes, but when you start taking swings at legends like Cube on a platform that big, and then you double down by firing direct shots at Tupac, that's when it stops being comedy and starts being something else.
Pac was not the greatest lyricist. He was energy. He was passion. He made you feel him. If that said, tear the club up, you wanted to tear the club up. Dear mama, you wanted to hug your mama. When you think about lyricism, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Jadakiss, my lyrics, spitter. Watch the comments. Now, when people talk about, you ask anybody, no matter where their region, you know, give me a top 5 rappers. Pac's usually always in that list. Right. I don't ever put Pac up there with the top rap.
You're not just throwing shade at one man. You're taking shots at an entire coast. That's not how you operate, especially when you don't have the firepower to stand on it. Aries probably thought he was just being edgy for a laugh, but hold up. The culture has a long memory, and the backlash, it came quickly. One fan even said, I respect Aries' talent, but the Ice Cube disrespect is crossing the line.
You hear what he said?
What'd he say?
He said it was nothing about you impresses him. From movies to rapping, nothing at all impresses him. I'm like, wow, like what?
Suckers usually don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you know, they usually don't like me when they coming from that angle. That's cool though. You know, everybody got their opinion and they all stink. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's cool. You know, he entitled to his opinion. It's the feeling is mutual. You know, I don't think he on anybody's list of top 10 comedians, you know what I mean, in the black community for sure. I don't even know if he's on the register. What up?
Others went even further, dragging him for sounding bitter and completely out of touch. Some were saying he was mad because the West Coast ran the game in the 80s and 90s. One comment flat out accused Aries of sounding salty, and honestly, that alone would have been bad enough. But then, plot twist, Cube actually responded, and that's rare. Legends usually don't waste energy replying to low-level shade. They let the noise fade out on its own. But Cube, he stepped up. And he didn't just clap back, he broke Aries' whole resume down. Ice Cube called him irrelevant, unfunny, and said he's not even in the discussion when it comes to top-tier black comedy. Coming from a man who's written scripts, produced hit films, dropped classic albums, and launched his own basketball league, that's not a jab, that's a haymaker. But it didn't stop there. 50 Cent saw the clip and, listen to this, couldn't resist jumping in. If there's one thing 50's gonna do, it's add fuel when somebody's already on fire. He thrives in that chaos. This is a man juggling power, BMF, liquor brands, and sold-out shows. And somehow, he still made time to fire off his shots. Why? Because he and Cube share real mutual respect. Before Hollywood ever stamped 50 with credibility, Ice Cube gave him acknowledgement, saluted him as a filmmaker and a businessman.
Ice Cube was on when I'm just watching. Music, all of it.
Movies, all of it.
Yeah. I never really seen Ice Cube in films that weren't his. You know, like he kind of produced the vehicle that he was in. And it wasn't like he was just being an actor in someone else's film.
That kind of loyalty doesn't get overlooked. And Aries Spears, loud, aggressive, always talking but without any recent wins to back it up, that's exactly the profile 50 loves to clown. So what did he do? He slid on Instagram with a slick little post. Didn't say Aries' name outright, but the message was freezing. Check my temperature, I'm ice cold. Then followed it with, need help with your bills? I'll write you a referral. Come on now, fans instantly knew who that was for. You could feel the pressure building around Aries. And how did he respond? Instead of falling back, he ran straight to Vlad TV and doubled down, tossing more shade at Cube and suddenly sounding emotional, almost like the victim in the situation. But here's the reality. You can't throw rocks and then get shocked when something flies back your way. Aries started off chest out, talking boldly, then flipped the narrative like he was the one being targeted. In one breath, he claimed he respected Cube as a man, and in the next breath, he downplayed Cube's entire legacy like it was nothing impressive.
I'm the poster child for the world's biggest hater. If you look up the word hate, it's my picture. When did we get to a point where unless your opinion, and last time I checked as human beings, we're all allowed to opinions. At what point does it get to where unless your opinion is favorable about a person or a thing and goes with the flow of everyone else, you're a hater? I don't understand that.
That's not even an opinion at that point. That's a flat-out contradiction. And that right there is what really had people dragging Aries. It wasn't just the words coming out of his mouth, it was how he tried to sidestep the smoke the second it circled back. Social media went crazy, clowning him for trying to play both sides of the fence.
Somebody sent me a clip where Ice Cube responded. He was on a radio show and the dude played him the snippet. And the first thing Ice Cube says is, well, most suckers don't like me. Then he goes on to say, I never heard of this dude. Then he finishes by saying, well, he's just not funny. Well, you can't have it both ways. If you don't know who I am, how do you know if I'm funny or not? So you can't have it both ways.
One comment said it best. You can't drop a hot take and then get upset when someone meets you at that level. And another one hit even harder after that skit. You're not valid. Ice Cube's a made man. And let's be real, this isn't even the first time Aries has fumbled a moment like this.
And for the record, I respect Ice Cube, the man. I respect Ice Cube in terms of what he's brought to the game. He's one of the pioneers. So hats off to him for his artistry. I never attacked him as a man. I never attacked him in terms of his character. I said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. Why am I not allowed to feel that way? Why is that? And then secondly, it's always funny. People call me a hater because they love to highlight when I say I don't like something, as though I don't have love for anything.
Back in 2022, Aries found himself in the middle of one of the messiest controversies of his career, a lawsuit over a disturbing comedy sketch he did with Tiffany Haddish. The bit had a minor involved, and Aries was playing this creepy adult while the camera lingered in ways that made everyone uneasy. It was supposed to be a comedy, but trust me, nobody was laughing. Once the clip leaked, Twitter blew up, the Shade Room shared it, and blogs ran wild. Even fellow comedians stepped back, distancing themselves from the whole fiasco. The internet was demanding answers. The lawsuit eventually got settled and the video disappeared online, but the stain, that never went away.
Hey, did you call me?
Oh yes, Uncle Pete. Can you watch TJ for me? I need to run to the, I gotta run some errands. I need to go to cleaners and I should be coming back. Okay?
All right, baby.
Thank you.
You can't unsee something that messed up. And what did Aries do after that? Instead of taking a step back, regrouping, or focusing on building stronger material, he ran right back to Vlad TV like it was a 9-to-5. Every few months, another interview, another rant, another episode of why Aries Spears thinks the world owes him. People started noticing. The fans? They weren't laughing anymore. They were watching him slowly unravel. Now don't get it twisted, Aries isn't talentless. The man's got skill. His impersonations on Mad TV? Fire. He can own a room when he's on his game. But here's the question. What's the legacy? Where's the growth? Where's the evolution? Meanwhile, comedians like Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, and even Cat Williams took their struggles and used them to level up. Aries? He stayed stuck. Stuck in rants, stuck in bitterness, stuck in the past. It's like he missed the wave and can't stop reminding everyone he almost made it big. And that bitterness bleeds through every interview, every clip, every podcast. Instead of moving forward, he keeps reaching backward, calling out legends, stirring drama just to feel relevant. That's when the industry started whispering. Not just fans, but castmates, co-workers, people who shared stages with him. Stories surfaced about Aries being hard to work with, always trying to one-up people in the room, letting ego take control. One source said he constantly made the vibe tense, needing to be the alpha even when nobody was competing. That kind of reputation sticks. In Hollywood, talent gets you in the door, but how you treat people keeps you there. Aries burned a lot of those bridges. And now, instead of being known for groundbreaking specials or big film roles, his name trends when he's beefing with icons or getting reminded of that lawsuit, not for killing it on stage. This Ice Cube drama just amplified it. It showed how disconnected Aries had become from the culture. Cube isn't just a rapper, he's an architect of West Coast hip-hop. He ghost-wrote NWA's biggest tracks while barely out of high school. He created Friday, a franchise that shaped black comedy and birthed characters still quoted today. He launched the Big Three League from scratch, a pro basketball league for ex-NBA players backed by investors and respected by athletes. And through all that, he never stopped evolving. Cube went from Compton to corporate without ever selling out. Meanwhile, Aries' biggest cultural imprint? Mad TV. That's not shade, that's facts. The difference is night and day. One kept building, the other kept complaining. So when Aries tried to downplay Cube's work, it didn't just feel disrespectful. It came off bitter, jealous, like someone yelling from outside a club they'll never get into. Fans noticed something else too. Not long after the drama, Ice Cube posted a teaser cast list for Final Friday. Guess who wasn't on it? Yep, Aries Spears. Nobody said he was ever in the running, but the timing was perfect. Fans knew what that meant. Cube was sending a silent but powerful message. This door is closed. You don't diss legends and expect to walk into legendary rooms. The craziest part? Aries did it to himself. No bait, no provocation. Cube's name came up and Aries went off the rails for no reason. That ain't comedy. That's desperation. And people saw it instantly. What was supposed to be a casual interview turned into a meltdown in slow motion. Every clip that hit social media just made him look worse. Fans weren't debating whether he made valid points, they were asking why he still had a mic in front of him. And it's bigger than a bad take. Aries came for someone the culture holds sacred. Ice Cube stands for resilience, authenticity, and straight-up impact. From F That Police to turning Friday into a hood classic, Cube changed the game. He didn't wait for Hollywood to hand him a lane, he built his own. Meanwhile, Aries has spent the last decade whining about closed doors instead of carving out his own path. That's why this entire situation blew up in his face. You can't throw rocks at someone who built the building you wish you were in and expect the community to cheer for you. Nah, respect isn't handed out, it's earned. And Aries has been out here demanding flowers for a garden he never planted. Here's the kicker. He didn't stop. Even after Cube clapped back and 50 Cent turned him into a punchline, he kept going. Back on Vlad TV, like a recurring character, whining about being disrespected, blackballed, or how Hollywood did him dirty. But by then, the public had already made up their mind. He wasn't a misunderstood genius anymore. He was bitter, clout-chasing, losing ground with every word. Every time he ranted about someone else's success, it just spotlighted how far he was from his own. It's like he thought picking at giants would elevate him, but really, it just showed how dim his own light had become. And let's be real, he's got no recent wins to lean on, no chart-topping stand-up specials, no viral movie roles, just recycled interviews, hot takes, and burned bridges. Even the fans who used to ride for him started jumping ship. They weren't seeing a legend, they saw a man shouting into the void, hoping someone still cared. That's when it hit. Aries didn't just lose a debate, he lost the room. Meanwhile, Ice Cube kept it moving. No messy rants, no drawn-out drama, just a clean checkmate and on to the next move. That's what being legendary looks like. You don't need to fight every battle, when your legacy already speaks louder than any clapback could. Same with 50. One post and he goes back to building empires. That contrast says it all. While Aries got stuck looping old stories and new drama, Cube and 50 kept making history. That's the difference between icons and loud talkers. Cube didn't need to scream. He stood tall and let Aries fold himself. Now the writing on the wall. Whether Aries realizes it or not, the door to certain rooms is closed. Diss the pillars of culture and think you'll walk away unscathed, you're not just delusional, you're finished. The fans saw it, the legends responded, and now Aries Spears is trending for all the wrong reasons. Not because he made us laugh, but because he tried to roast a legend and got burned. If you're keeping score, Ice Cube stays undefeated. Aries Spears, just another cautionary tale in the age of clout chasing. If you vibed with this breakdown, hit subscribe for more deep dives like this.